talk about, especially in places like Titan Championship Wrestling. He's going to talk about places such as Met Pro Wrestling. Yeah, we'll bring up TF Crew. We'll certainly bring up a redo Rumble. And where this guy, well, he got the job done against somebody that he's called, and some others have called a Karen, his former tag team partner. We'll get into that. We'll also talk about some familiar faces. We'll also get into your comments. And, the last time I saw this guy on my stream, he was talking about, well, a group that he wanted to join, and he wanted to join them in an exclusive category and territory, and I'll make sure I give it to him. And ladies and gentlemen, it might have been a bomb cyclone that hit most of the Northeast. It might have been a blizzard that the sanitation trucks, at least where I am, still couldn't get by, but that couldn't stop Shark Week. Nothing could stop sharks. Bomb cyclones, blizzards, delays, kids going to school, not going to school, you going to work, not going to work. Forget about all that. And I'm going to use that forget about it, because even though he may not have joined that group, I can exclusively say forget about it because I'm from the place that made forget about it. But forget about all that. We are now going to start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station, the only platform where all music and all wrestling matters. And as I said, the champ is here. The champ is here. And let's get this show off in style and give him that championship, Titan Tag Team Championship-like introduction. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. It's Shark Week because we are now joined by the man who is simply put one half of the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Champions of the World. He certainly has bling, and now he's got plenty of bite. He is the American Muscle Shark Mark the Shark. The champ is here. My friend, how are we doing?
Reverend Tom Bryce, that was a hell of an introduction. I am doing jawsome tonight. Thank you for having me back on Sportswire Radio. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Well, it's Shark Week. Listen, and you know what? Listen, Shark Week couldn't be stopped despite blizzards, bomb cyclones here in New York City. They couldn't figure out if the kids were going to school or not going to school. Sanitation trucks couldn't figure out what street to plow. You're Mark the Shark. It's Shark Week, and that doesn't stop sharks. You've got plenty of blood. We've got plenty to talk about. You've got a massive crowd here, and I think we're all excited about it. And I have to lead off with it because I'm sure you're going to certainly, devour us here with this. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform, you and the many companies that you certainly represent, Sportswire Radio here with us. Talk to me about what it means to you now to be one half of the reigning defending Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Champions of the World.
Tom, it's an honor. Second tag team title now that I've been back. Of course, first time with Emily Saxton, the Mega Bitch. Now with the Gem Zach Ruby, the greatest ever made. Together, we are the Bling and the Bite. We're bringing the fight to Titan Championship Wrestling each and every show. The Audacity, they found out the hard way. They found out what you and everyone else out here knows. It's always Shark Week around here because the Shark beats them all and the Shark eats them all. But yeah, it's very cool to win a championship at Titan Championship Wrestling. Also, the United States GTS champion right now. My bag to Vegas is going to be heavy. I got 2 belts to bring with me now. I've got a Shark on a stick. I've got some ruby red sunglasses I'm going to have to bring with me. The bag's getting heavier, but it's a good problem to have.
All right, I gotta ask it because I know that there are people here that put in the shark emojis and also tell me if my mic sounds good or not. I don't know if my mic's hot or not because I did such a loud intro. So let me know if my mic's hot or not. But I gotta ask you now that you're going to WrestleMania weekend with Championship Gold, and I know there was a group that you wanted to join, and I guess we'll see what the future brings for them if they had the same opportunity. But are you worried about going into customs now with obviously the shark paraphernalia, this Championship Gold? Your glasses, are you concerned? We know what the government has been like these days, and I have to ask, are you concerned about going into customs when you fly to Vegas here in less than 2 months?
I'm not concerned at all. As a matter of fact, I'm excited. TSA always seems to love the Shark when he comes through. So they'll have some gold if they want to take pictures. Of course, we'll have some 8x10s and T-shirts for my friends at the friendly TSA. Always make you feel comfortable and welcome when coming through the airport to travel. Really looking forward to the travel to Vegas. Yeah, you can catch me in the United Lounge before my flight. Having a couple libations just to ease the tensions. That's what the Shark does. It's a vacation, but it's also going to be networking. It just so happens to be in Las Vegas. A familiar city to me. I'm really looking forward to it. Got a couple of things that are to be announced that I can't really talk about yet, but looking forward to Vegas and WrestleMania week. And all
now,
that,
I must ask, since we know that a group that I know is here in this chat that we'll talk, I'm sure, a lot about here over the next hour or so, the Cheenies are going there also to Vegas, and considering the way things have been between you and those individuals, who I'm sure will be back here before they go to Vegas, will you guys be flying together? Will you guys be in different?
Oh no, I would never fly with the Cheesies. Especially after the snub. It was great you put them in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame just went down a couple of notches. If you ask me.
Well, you better wait till a little while from now. I mean, listen, you may change your mind in a little while.
I don't know. The Cheenies, I try to be the Italian muscle shark, as we've spoke about before. And, I got picked last for gym class. They don't want nothing to do with Mark the Shark.
Well,
and that's unfortunate.
You gotta wait a little while. Listen, I was always one of the taller kids growing up in Brooklyn. I usually was picked near the bottom of gym because sometimes for good and bad reasons. So you may change your mind in a half an hour, but you're not going to be flying with them. You're not even going to see them. But you may have some bragging rights over them because I understand you've got 2 championships and you've got tag team gold, and we'll certainly see when we see the results of what happened last week at Milford Mania. But I mean, right now, we know for sure that the American Muscle Shark is going to be bringing some bite, but also he's going to have some more bling than those Cheenies come WrestleMania weekend, huh?
It's looking that way. The Cheenies, they should have got on the Shark train a long time ago because the train's going right off the tracks right now. And if you notice, I'm drinking hot tea.
It's funny. I've been
because it's always F iced tea around here.
Well,
we don't associate with those fake tanning. Iced Tea Curtis. He wants to say he's tanner than me on X, which is the most outrageous claim that I've heard
seen
this
some
week.
Of the stuff. I have seen the back and forth from you fellows. Maybe I guess you're not too convinced about the water in Bayonne. I can see the Bayonne Bridge from where I live, but I guess at least that. Well, listen, I can also see the Verrazano Bridge, which I'm much more happier to go to the Verrazano Bridge, but that's a different show and a different time. But nevertheless, we do love whoever's out there in Bayonne. But nevertheless, I mean, I can understand why you've had hot tea because considering the weather and such. But I mean, 2 championships now, and it seems like whether it's that woman we're going to talk about in a few minutes, Emily Saxton, or those Cheenies, it seems like you've got the upper hand, and maybe they should have been joining you, I suppose.
Tom, you're right. I try to be friends with these people. They're just completely unreasonable. They're selfish. They're out for themselves. They don't want nothing to do with Mark the Shark. And, the Shark beats them all and the Shark eats them all. That goes for Tony Cheney. That goes for Fran Cheney. That goes for Ice-T Cheney. That goes for that mega bitch Emily Saxton. I got Zach Ruby now. You see him on the screen. My new tag team partner, the Gem. Someone worthy of being the Sharks tag partner. Emily Saxton couldn't cut the mustard. So I found somebody who could, and now look at us. We're the Titan Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
And Zach does send his apologies. We were supposed to have had Zach, but obviously he has had some things that have come up. We wish him well. We'll see him on. You guys will be on together very soon. But I was going to ask you about that now that you've got championship gold with the Gem Zach Ruby. And I hate to do this, but I'm sure you're going to want me to as you just brought it up. I mean, so what's the differences so far, you think, between Mr. Ruby and, well, Emily Saxton, who you have called a mega? I did the bleep button for you, but what do you think the differences are already so far between Zach Ruby and Emily Saxton?
I mean, Zach Ruby, he's a hell of a hand in that ring. Always there, when I need somebody to back me up, and I'm there to back him up. Emily didn't do that for me. She was out for herself. She wanted to make a viral TikTok, or she wanted to be the prettiest.
She's an influencer. You saw her post not too long, was it a month ago? She's got hundreds of thousands of engagements, hundreds of thousands of followers across social media, and I mean that's what she does. I mean, listen.
Yeah, I mean, clickbait Karen. That's what they call her nowadays, and hopefully she gets that next viral video. While she's doing that, I'm going to keep collecting championships, winning matches, making towns, and making something of myself in this professional wrestling business.
You seem to do that.
I mean, she claims to love so much,
I'm not going to say that she doesn't love professional wrestling. I mean, I'm not going to go that far. You may be able to, because you know Emily Saxton a lot better than I do. But I'll tell you what you have done in a short amount of time is that you have become, and there's the Shark. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of mood that Mark the Shark is in right now on Sportzwire Radio. He's brought the Shark out. If you get in his mood, listen, it doesn't matter if you're Old Man Winter. It doesn't matter if you're a bomb cyclone. It doesn't matter if you're blizzard. Look, they're even talking about more snow in the Northeast. That Shark doesn't matter. It'll eat his way through it. And that's why Mark Shark is here. He's in a mood. He's enraged right now. It's chaos. You thought a few days ago in Sportswire we had chaos when we had these tag teams from Mon Valley Pro Wrestling, Peanut Butter and Jealous, and Gray Day going back and forth. Look at the mood Mark the Shark is in right now. It doesn't matter if you're the Cheenies. It doesn't matter if you're Emily Saxton. It doesn't matter if you're anybody here right now. The mood that this man is in right now, just all hell is breaking loose, and that's the picture. I will be showing the comments in a little while, to quote the Genies. I will be. I like to go talk first. We'll get to the comments in a few minutes. We will certainly get to them.
Tell the peanut gallery to keep it down over there. All right, they're going to try to hijack my show. This isn't the Cheeny hour. This is the Shark hour. Let's focus.
Well, I'm very happy that we do have comments, because I've done some shows recently where there wasn't any comments. It was like a De La Soul song, me, myself, and I. But the good news is you are Mark the Shark. You do have 2 championships. I will certainly talk about GTS here in a minute, but I will also be promoting, most importantly, what's ahead here in Titan Championship Wrestling, because I do have that poster, and I do know that there are some other people that may be here that may want me to talk about that poster, and I'm going to put it up here because you, good sir, are going to be there and talk to me about what's ahead here March the 21st, where we are doing a show for a very good cause.
Yeah, March 21st, it's a Shriners charity show. Myself and Zach Ruby will be there, I believe, in tag team action. We haven't gotten the official card yet. Yeah. But I had done a show previously for Titan, similar cause, very rewarding show to be a part of. So I'm really looking forward to Shriners in Bayville on the 21st of March.
Well, I'm excited about it. I'll tell you what, I'll make an announcement here if we can get in touch with the good people at Titan Championship Wrestling. I will also lend my support, and I will send a donation. So we like to support it for the good reasons, and I know, obviously, the Cheenies may not be happy that you're there, but you are also on that post. Does it bother you real quick that, that Tony and Francesca are front and center when you're the one that has that tag team championship right
Unbelievable.
now?
2 of the least charitable people that I've ever met in my life. The fact that they're on this show.
I can't say that. No, they've been charitable. I've seen what they've done for animals. No, you can't say that. Come on, you're Mark the Shark.
I don't think it's a wild claim to make, but if they want to be on this show and help out for a good cause for once, that's great.
Okay.
And can't wait to see the Cheenies there. But the American Shark, nobody's more charitable than me. I donate my time, my efforts. everywhere I go. You know, I'm a walking charity, I'd like to say.
You know, well, I would definitely not disagree with that, and we are very excited about it. I do want to put up the Titan Championship Wrestling YouTube channel, even though it hasn't been updated. Just go follow them. I'll put the Instagram link up, and I will get to something else here because Louis Jr. has brought something to my attention that you're supposed to be in action for you. He's here. Well, we're going to be talking a lot about him, I'm sure, when it comes to the Redo Rumble in a few minutes, but hit the sub button for Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment. And Louis has informed me that you and him are going to, well, let's just say, be meeting each other coming up this Friday, huh?
Yeah, Louis and I might have big plans coming up, especially with Vegas looming. So stay tuned to my socials for all that.
Okay. Well, I was gonna. I'm glad that
I have a feeling I'll see Louis Jr. real soon.
Yeah, well, he had mentioned something about that, but I don't want to spoil it for people. But I do want to put up Mark the Shark's social medias because he does have them, and if you do not follow him, he will come after you like a shark. And we all remember what sharks do, and and we don't want that to happen to you and to everyone else out there. So he does have an Instagram page, and go follow it, and you can see some more content, some more places, and there you go. And go hit the follow button there for him. And that is Mark the Shark. And he is one half of the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment's tag team champions of the team Bling and Bite. He is also the GTS United States champion. We will get to your comments shortly. I want to talk about a few other things that I want to plug, and we'll do that on the other side. Speaking of places you're going to be next is Matt Pro Wrestling, where you have made quite an impact. And I have to promote Matt Pro Wrestling before we get to the chat because people already want to talk to you. They don't even want to hear me ask you questions, which I think I should get a chance to ask you some questions. But considering this crowd here tonight, they really don't seem to be too interested in that. But I will nevertheless promote some shows, and I will put up the general poster here because I think you're not too happy about if I put up the Cheney's and Ice T Curtis posters.
Yeah, please let's keep them off the program as much as possible.
Well, they're in the chat. I am going to get to them, but nevertheless, we've got some shows coming up here before the 2-year anniversary show in April, and it's running wild. And the doors open 2:00 Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time in Jackson, New Jersey, which, if I'm not mistaken, is not too far from Six Flags because Six Flags is in Jackson. So I went to Jackson, New Jersey one time as a kid, which was to go to Six Flags on August the 23rd of 1997. But you're going to be in the ring March the 8th, 2026 at Running Wild. And I'm sure you're also mad here you're not on this poster.
I'm furious that it's even on the screen right now. Matt Pro Wrestling has been very good to me thus far, but leaving me off this flyer is inexcusable. They must hate selling tickets and hate money. Leaving me off.
I guess that's, you know what I don't know what Ray was thinking. Well, I mean, I hope you're going to be there. I hope that you'll be in action. I mean,
the Shark will be there. Yeah, gaining a lot of momentum there at Matt Pro Wrestling.
Yes. Yeah. I think you are. I think you definitely are. And we were actually speaking about that when that guy Rad Dad was here, who you were in the ring with not too long ago. You were in the ring challenging him for that Matt Pro Wrestling Championship in Connecticut, which I will be talking a lot about in the other side of the chat. I'm sure that was something that you had wanted, and you weren't able to get that championship. But maybe that Matt Pro Wrestling Championship is one you have in your sights, good sir.
Yeah, I'm coming for all the gold, Tom. Rad Dad, Radley Belmont, the stepdad, hell of a competitor, representing Matt Pro well as champion, but he didn't beat me in that fatal 4-way. He pinned Jimmy Controversy.
Oh, so, well, no surprise there, considering we know history of GTS.
Yeah, I mean, me, my shoulders never see the mat for 2 seconds, let alone 3 seconds. And Rad Dad, if he's got the cojones and he wants to go one-on-one with the American Muscle Shark and put that Matt Pro title on the line, I'd be happy to accept that challenge.
It's interesting you bring that up because obviously, we don't know what happened definitively because we haven't seen all of it, but, we saw him wrestle, Big Billy Gold out there. And I mean, obviously, he's not a shark, though. He's not a muscle shark.
He's big. He's Billy. He might be gold, but he's not the American Muscle Shark. I'm a one of one, baby.
You know what? I got to tell you right now, the State of the Union, ladies and gentlemen, everyone talking about the State of the Union, but the State of the Union right now is that Mark the Shark is the American Muscle Shark, and he is holding serve And he is showing why he is a leader right now in places like Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment, GTS, and why Matt Pro Wrestling, he's coming for you. TF Crew, when they have their next show, well, he's his own crew. Because look at this man, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? He's coming to WrestleMania weekend. You know, they were honoring AJ Styles yesterday. Well, tonight, it seems like we're honoring the American Muscle Shark, Mark the Shark. And just wait till WrestleMania weekend comes. And forget about if you didn't join him in his group. Forget if you weren't on his team, because now he's coming, and you better not sit next to him unless you're a really hot blonde, and you got to give him a drink, because this man is holding serve right now. The State of the Union is that it's Shark Week. The Shark, Mark the Shark himself, he's dropping bombs. He doesn't need, Congress to give him approval to talk the way he does tonight. He doesn't need executive orders. He doesn't need the other two branches of government, because right now, he's in charge right now. And boy, Lord have mercy if you don't get this man what he wants. Boy, I am going to get to some people in the chat, because they seem to want to talk with you, and I'm going to do that. And if you're out there right now, because there's a lot of you out there right now tonight, you go follow Mark the Shark on Instagram. You follow him on X, because there is plenty to get into here, because it is certainly Shark Week, and it might be Shark Year for all we know it. Zilla is here first. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Zilla.
Hello from the good people of the state of Cleveland and the city of Cleveland and the state of Ohio. Same thing to me at this point. Hubie Jenkins, the high authority, wants to say hello, and I wonder if you got more snow than we did. It doesn't matter, but we do say thank you to the EWA, because you probably got just about as much snow. It doesn't matter at this point, and hopefully your digging out is a little bit easier by watching this. Please follow the guys in the EWA. Speaking of people that'll be a topic on Thursday's show, Ox McCoy wanted to say, what's up, everybody? How you doing today? Also, somebody wanted to say hello. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hello. I appreciate you very much. And if you have not yet hit this, how you doing, Jenny? And if you're out there, hit the sub button for me. I think I'm like one subscriber away from 1,800, and maybe we'll do something for it. In fact, maybe we'll do something. You know what? Maybe I will do something here in a few. I'll actually call a shotgun. I'll call an audible here in a few minutes. So if I haven't got to 1,800 subs, I'll do something here, because I got a lot of people in the chat. Speaking of people who are out there, I have on here the WVWF King of the Mountain champion himself, Mr. Maverick, who's dealing with COVID. Hope you're feeling better from COVID. Really hope you're feeling better from COVID. Terrible time to get COVID. So, well, obviously that guy, you knew that this guy was going to be a topic. You knew, and he's got plenty of things to say. Shout out to a guy. Shout out to, I got to get Louis Jr. one of these days on here. Hopefully, Louis. Yes, I would like to get Louis on here soon. Louis, let's talk off the air. Mark's drinking iced tea. I see him.
We went over this. It's hot tea. Hot tea ice. All right? It's F ice around here, okay? We don't drink that cold ice.
Well, we are certainly not going to sing Ice Ice Baby either. Where is Zach Ruby? Well, he's obviously not here, but he will be here soon.
He's a busy man. He's a
busy guy. He's bling, right? He's the bling. He's got plenty of bling.
He's probably shining up his rubies right now as we speak.
Can't blame him. Listen, I can't blame him. I can't blame him. All right. Hello. Thank you, Maverick, again. How you doing? Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate you very much.
Jenny.
Boy, you are not happy with Zilla right now. All I could say is you are not happy with Zilla.
Your favorite wrestler of all time is Ice-T Curtis?
Yeah. I don't know why.
How many matches have you seen? Like in
I would not be able to answer that question. I could only hope that Zilla will let us know. Thank you. And Hubie does like the Sharks because
he's a little bit better than Ice-T Curtis.
Well, Hubie loves tuna dogs, and so he likes the shark emojis. I'm not going to ask you if you eat tuna dogs. I mean, but you're the heaviest pick. Well, next comment, please. Next comment. A feisty crowd.
He's got a loud mouth over there. For somebody who eats spaghetti and pasta, and pizza. Being the typical, Italian delivery boy. But
well, it's funny. I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they said, "Oh, I didn't realize you weren't Italian." Then I said I was Irish, and they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, Tony's more Italian than I am, obviously." Where is Zach Ruby? We answered that. Mark's looking kind of pale. Is he sick?
My God. Ice-T Curtis, he found a tanning bed for the first time in his life, and he thinks he's tanner than me.
Well,
I'm Sicilian.
I see.
I step outside and I catch a tan. Can't help it that I have this dark complexion. I'm not sick, Ice T Curtis.
I can actually tell you that I actually have been sick for 3 days, but we'll move on.
I'm a little sick.
Okay, well, hopefully I don't get you too sick, but nevertheless, I think this is what he was referring to. We thank you for that. We'll move on. If it wasn't supposed to be spoiled, we won't spoil it. Now, this is obviously some strong words there. I mean, comparing you to Mario. Oh, he's leaving! Mark the Shark is leaving this chat, ladies and gentlemen. He's leaving. We hope he stays. We were going to give him something, but boy, this is a tough crowd tonight. Just when we thought that Mark the Shark was going to stay here and he was going to hold serve, but now it seems like maybe the Shark is circling. Maybe he's coming to a chat near you. Maybe he's coming to a commenter. Maybe he's coming to a presenter because Mark the Shark right now, he's out of control.
Can we ban Tony Cini? Can we ban Tony Cini from Sportswire Radio? Can we remove him from the Hall of Fame?
There are people I should remove from the Hall of Fame, but he's not really one of them. I really can't.
I could think of 3 of them.
Well, there's actually a lot more than that.
And they're all cheesies.
Well, I'm not going to do that this moment, but they knew what they were doing when they named you Mark. Okay. This guy doesn't even have.
I have gills, pal.
Well,
I have gills. Don't you worry about Hal.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to figure it out. Speaking of people who also hold championship gold from the state of Pennsylvania, though, his name is Daniel Tafu. I want to say Titan Championship Wrestling. Yes, that's one half of the tag team champions. There's Zach. Yes, I got that comment. Yes, Ginny's laughing. A lot of people seem to be in the mood tonight. Now that I got to tell you, that's a strong comment. That's some strong words. Leaf Cassidy, boy. That's a strong, especially if we know the new Rockers, Leaf Cassidy. Ooh.
I'm fully aware.
Although, if you want to play touche, didn't Leaf Cassidy turn into that guy Al Snow?
Yeah, and it's been Al snowing outside all week, so
the games are being played on Sportswire. I did show the comments. We were just waiting. I like to do them one by one.
See, Tony Chidi is so quick to call you afraid and attack people, Well,
he's obviously got a lot on his mind, what he's been going through.
He's still mad because I popped him in the kisser in the Regal Rumble. I gave him an Idaho potato, freshly served. And now look at him. He got beat up at Titan Championship Wrestling before his match. He couldn't compete. I mean, the guy's more fragile than a paperclip, He's just bending and contorting. He can't stay healthy. He's ducking the shark, just like Emily Saxton ducked the shark, just like Ice-T's ducking the shark, just like Fran's ducking the shark. Each and every one of them, they can get these hands. It's not a problem. They're rated E for everyone.
Rated E. Ladies and gentlemen, he said rated E for everyone. Boy, this is quite. And thank you, Luigi. I read the comment, but I don't think we're supposed to spoil that. But I'd love to talk on Sportswire. He did love the poster because he was front and center. He and Francesco were front and center, and he wore it. He definitely wanted to remind us of that. I wanted to say hello to my buddy, also from the state of West Virginia, Bam Allen. And Bam's got a lot on his mind, and he had some tag team partners kind of do dirty on him, but you didn't have that happen at all. You have tag team championship gold and you're on top, so you didn't have that. I met Mark's brother Ralph after the big championship win. Good guy. And I can, what's funny, because we're all from the same area practically, I could actually say how he said that. Let me repeat it for you. I met Mark's brother Ralph after the championship win. Good guy. That's how it would be. We're a good guy. My dad would say, "He's a good guy. He's a good guy." That's how Tony is saying that. I mean, let me repeat that the way Tony would say that. But I'm gonna go like a good guy. Move on to some more comments.
Yeah, let's move on from that one.
We got that. I am glad that they squeezed you into the poster there, pal. Boy. Okay. Hit the sub button for Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, please do.
Also, please follow
Tony Cini, follow Titan Championship Wrestling, follow Mark the Shark.
We have 29 people or so watching between the different channels. Go give Mark the Shark a follow. If you weren't here last time, go follow him.
Any post you liked of Tony Cini's in the past, just go and like it and go like 3 of them.
Well, that's up to people. I'll let people decide on that. And he continues to say, "Tell Ralph I said hello." Also, Good morning. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Andy, for being here from Germany. I appreciate you. If you like what you hear, hit the sub button for me. I would appreciate that. Speaking of people that you also know, who you've been in a locker room with a few times that have championship gold, and I saw some footage recently of Doc Holliday, who was here on Sportswire. And, you
The
saw,
good Doc.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What did you think, by the way, about what he did to Castor? What with an R, with two R's? What did you think about that? There, nah, you don't want to talk about it.
I mean, I see they're eating a lot of Gabe Sayers' family traditional dishes on Instagram.
I was gonna say. I mean, I think I said this when Doc was here, even when Gabe was here. I'm a white guy. I never had any of this food.
Yeah,
before.
I can't say I've had tuna casserole, but
no.
I was a little disappointed at TF Crew that the catering wasn't, all these homemade recipes that.
So they didn't have the white people's food at Milford Mania?
They didn't have any food. They didn't have any food.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm not going
They put the shark out there with an empty stomach. They put him against 5 other opponents, and they expect me to,
Wait, all right. Listen, I was a sponsor of the show, by the way. I was a sponsor.
I know.
I supported. I got to ask this question. If we had 400 plus people there, we had a record crowd, record turnout. You mean to tell yours truly that they couldn't at least have gotten you an Aunt Annie's pretzel from the mall?
I would have loved an Aunt Annie's pretzel. Couldn't be found in sight. And I think that's why I didn't win my match. I had a couple good competitors in there. It was a long ride up. If I would have had that Annie Ann's pretzel, I think maybe, you'd be looking at somebody who left Milford Mall the winner. And unfortunately,
you know what? I've been to the Milford Mall before. This is, I'm sure, a topic we will certainly talk about and revisit. Let me get to more comments. He doesn't even know how many Jaws movies there are. But there was like 17 of them. After like Jaws 2, it became like it wasn't what it was before. I mean, let's be fair.
Tony Chi, this isn't a movie trivia. This is pro wrestling, pal. All right. Maybe I could show you a thing or two about it.
You were on another podcast after you came here. They had you on, and it was like you came and you win.
I get no respect around here. I got the Chinies taking up all the real estate on all these posters that I'm supposedly on. For these shows that I'm the main attraction at. Let's be honest. And I got to share the spotlight with the likes of Tony Chini. Makes me sick. Makes me sicker than I already am.
Well, you know what? I will certainly get to some more comments. You do have a lot of people here tonight, so I mean, you must be doing something right. I wonder, has he seen or is a fan of the cartoon Street Sharks?
Of course. I had the action figures growing up.
Boy, I mean, I would think people would want to congratulate you on the win for the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Championships, defeating Emily Saxon, talking about the Redo Rumble. But it seems like tonight you're not getting any of that here on Sportswire. I mean, last time you came on here, we had a formal conversation. We were talking about your goals, talking about different things. But tonight, I mean, you're getting a very difficult crowd here. So not a championship like introduction you've gotten, or a championship reception from a crowd tonight. I mean.
Yeah, a lot of riffraff in the chatter,
It's like John Cena when he showed up at the the Hammerstein Ballroom. We wrestled in ECW.
That's what it feels like. I feel unwelcomed. I feel attacked. This is not the experience I was hoping to have on Sportswire Radio tonight.
Boy, Rad was here. It was funny. Now, Rad was here a week and a half ago. It was like a celebration. But you wrestled Rad, and you've got championship gold. You were successful. You're getting an extremely, extremely difficult crowd here. Zilla, thank you. Although Mark the Shark is not happy who you said was your favorite wrestlers in GTS. Your shoulders don't touch the match for more than 2 seconds. I guarantee your shoulders will stay down more than 10 seconds, and you'll never forget the name of Tafu. So he's saying that he would obviously like to meet you sometime, but he may be a Samoan, nightmare, but you are a shark, and it is Shark Week. So obviously he, wanted to say that's where he's from. He's from Pennsylvania. You're from Jersey. Obviously, look, there's that rivalry.
You make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I mean, we got a lot more comments, and I'll just get to them at this point. I can't even see this, so many of them. Yes, hello to Doc Holliday, and Airbud, calm down. Obviously, I don't know who this is. I can't see. But hello, thank you for being here, whoever the less. And nevertheless, I did hit 1,800 subs, so thank you very much. Thank you so much. I do want to actually put a contest up in a minute. I actually have a book. I have Gary Wolf's book I want to give to somebody. So maybe we'll have fun with it in the contest. I had 1,800 subs, so maybe we'll do something for it. What's up, Mark Muscle Shark? What's up, Maverick? Hope your weekend was better than mine. Voice is some strong words. Boy, he's reminding you that he's Roy Scheider.
I've had enough.
Yeah,
I've had enough of
crashing out.
the Cheenies. Yeah.
You have a tough crowd here tonight. How are we doing from our friends from Long Island in EBW, Extreme Basement Wrestling here in Long Island, who apparently got more so than all of us. You are really getting a tough crowd. Yep. Tony and I are out collecting tag titles, so don't get cute, Casper.
Casper is crazy. Oh, the friendly ghost. That's a good one. Nice take.
We are a really, really difficult
Unbelievable.
crowd.
I was out in the sun today, I'll have you know, with snow on the ground.
You had snow? You had sun where you were? It was barely sun in New York City.
Oh, it was shining. It was shining. It was
oh, well, lucky you. But then again, you have plenty of bling and plenty of bites. So maybe you had better luck with it. Whereas, we had basically no sun today. A shark who doesn't eat tuna. What a fraud.
I had some salmon for dinner, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, salmon.
I'm not living the gimmick.
I think salmon's a little more. I think a little more up on the food chain, right, than tuna. I was always under the impression salmon was like, unless I'm missing something.
I'll slam a can of tuna here and there, but.
Well, you're seeing a different tuna. Boy.
How long have they been writing this material? Did they hire somebody for these one-liners?
Wow.
They're not that clever in real life, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to comment on that. EBW did need to come back soon. Hope you feel better, man. I'm sure Ralph will take care of you. Boy, Ralph is certainly being referenced here quite a bit. I'm gonna move on. We have more comments. I have a lot of them still. Yes, hello. Hello. Thank you, Zilla, for the hellos. It's very true. Congratulations, Mark. When I'm your age, I hope to still be winning tag team championships too in like 10 years. Now, what is he? Is he implying that maybe, you're not as young as Icy? Is he trying to imply, is it age discrimination? Because, I thought it was 2026. I thought we weren't supposed to age discriminate anymore.
We're not, and it's kind of funny because I believe Ice T Curtis is a calendar year older than me. But, that's not here nor there.
Maybe we're counting it like dog years. Maybe that he's reversed his age.
Right.
I don't know.
He's aging like milk. I'm aging like wine. All right. So in another 10 years, I'll still be collecting championships. And he'll still be, taking pinfalls to no-name jobbers on your local independents. Just a prediction. Just a prediction, a 10-year plan. I don't know.
But, listen. All right, look at the bright side. As we are here with the American Muscle Shark, Mark the Shark, who is one half of the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Champions. He is also the GTS United States Champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, all musical wrestling matters. Look at it this way. When they come back on, when the Cheenies, they're going to come back on in the next month or so, you could be here in the chat and you could maybe give the same response. You could look at it from that vantage point. I mean, you'll get the opportunity,
Yeah, I mean, I'll check my calendar, but I'd literally rather do anything else than listen
to busy. I got it.
On it after the disrespect they showed the Shark tonight. On my show. My show, Reverend Tom. And they're hijacking it. Sir, and I don't like it.
I understand, and I apologize, sir. I apologize from the bottom of my heart that this show is taken the way it has tonight, and I will do my best to steer the ship. It may be like a Jaws movie. We've lost the ship. We have lost it. Boy, to quote David Lee Roth's vocals in Van Halen's Women and Children First, we have lost control. We are lost control. Let's get to some more comments. You have plenty of them. I want Gary Wolf's book. You may get Gary Wolf's book. We'll play around with it in a few minutes. I have to find the book. It's under my bed in a minute, but I do have the book. Hello, Zilla, and I'll also be the first to congratulate you on your championship. That's a good point, because I don't know if anybody actually congratulated you formally on the championship win, and I guess from one champion to another, huh?
That's great. I appreciate it. Thank you. At least somebody gets it out here,
Well, he knows. He's like you. He's got two championships in two different states. I mean, you obviously are the GTS United States champion also. It would be nice to have Pitbull's book to read while I battle COVID. Well, maybe we'll do something in like 10 minutes. What was your favorite match or feud this year so far? Which gives me time to find the book, so you can answer that.
Favorite match this year so far would have been the Audacity. Just beat them for the TCW Tag Team Champions. Favorite feud was probably the Mega Bitch Emily Saxon, as long and grueling as it has been waiting to finally have our match that we had on GTS this week. I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad I beat that Mega Bitch Emily Saxon, and I'm still your GTS United States Champion.
Well, that was certainly points well taken. Also, this guy is pretty. My wife. Boy, we're certainly getting we are being peppered tonight. They would say you'd be peppered. In baseball, there was the term peppered. Speak your truth, Sharkies.
Always, Vex, always.
Well, we appreciate that. Also, Mark knows why this is happening. You might be the Shark, but I'm the Don, the Megalodon.
Next.
Okay, we'll move on. Mark is free every day. Don't let him lie to you. What do you mean you're free? Well, listen, live free or die. You can look at it from that vantage, but listen, live free or die. That's how I live in life.
Of course I'm free. I'm the GTS United States Heavyweight Champion. Of course I'm free.
That's why you are who you are, sir. I mean, listen, who can blame you? Who can blame you?
I'm free as a bird, Tom. Ice-T, he's just chirping. He's
Boy, the comments just keep coming. At this point, you're busy. Mark was right at the other end of the curtain to congratulate him. Good guy. He was a good guy. Good guy. Let's get to some more comments. I congratulated 54-year-old Mark the Shark. I mean, not your father, obviously, not your granddad.
My God.
And I can't stop looking at his eyes. By the way, I can't stop looking at his eyes. Your eyes.
Thank you, Vex. At least somebody appreciates me around here.
Yeah, I'm sure you have your fans. And why are you so beautiful?
See, Louis, Vex, they get it. They're not like the Cheenies. They're good. They're good people.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna do my. All right, so we're gonna talk about GTS in a minute. We'll figure a way out to do the Gary Wolf book. We'll hang out for that. But I know you have dealt with a lot tonight here. You have done a lot that we should have been talking about. This crowd really, well, let's just say maybe took on to a life of its own, but I'm going to do my best here to share my screen because I think it is time to do my best to make up for, the very difficult crowd that you have felt with here. You have certainly, had some sharks in the water towards you, so I'm going to make up for it as best a way I can as possible. So for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and all wrestling matters, you have now not only gone into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, but you've gone in for being the American Muscle Shark.
I love it. Wow.
But now you like the Hall of Fame. Remember, half an hour ago you were unhappy with it.
You might have a couple of redactions in there, a couple people we need to weed out of there, but now you got the American Muscle Shark in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame, it's legitimate. See, just went up another notch. I'm honored and privileged to be inducted. Thank you so much, Reverend.
Well, look, I guess from your vantage point, you could always say, the Baseball Hall of Fame, some people feel like Ty Cobb should have been in the Hall of Fame, and, WWE's got a few, I'm sure, but I guess maybe that's the way you feel about the Cheaties. But, hey, nevertheless, you are in the Hall of Fame, and, we'll give you this copy when we're off the air, and, we hope that you'll accept it.
I'll accept it. We'll talk off air about getting Cheaties and Ice-T removed from the Hall of Fame. But,
boy, it seems like you want to join the voting committee now all of a sudden. But let's move on. You have just more comments. I want to talk GTS here in a minute. I think Ice-T is mad that that's the only belt he hasn't won.
Well, it's true. And Ice-T, I would welcome a challenge for that United States title anytime.
And open a toy off the wall and it might stop. They're obviously referring to your toy collection there, which we widen the screen to see. But don't do that. No. Don't open the toys. Because listen, I mean, you're a busy man. You're bling and bite. I mean, you don't want to do that.
Obviously.
I mean, they're obviously, listen, that's quite a collection. You're not at a collectible store doing this interview right now. And I know the Cheenies were at a collectible store before they came on here, but you have made sure to be dedicated to be here on time and to be here with the people. And you're not going to do that. You're not going to open up any of those toys. I wouldn't recommend that.
Only because Tony Cini asked me to, I'm not going to do it. If you or anyone else requested that,
I don't have time for that. We want to talk about other things. We want to promote you and congratulate. Yes, we thank Mark. And okay, well, let's move on here. And I do want to talk about GTS here, and I do want to figure out finding my Gary Wolf. But even if I can't find, I have the book, and we'll play a game, and we'll let somebody win it. But let's talk about GTS here coming up because you did mention it. You had a victory over Emily Saxton. And we have a redo Rumble coming up here once again. And maybe you have that opportunities and talk to me about what's going on here in GTS while I put that up on the screen.
Yeah, it's a wild time over at GTS if you've been watching the show. I did beat Emily Saxton. Yeah. She tried to injure me. It's obviously gotten personal. It was a lot more than a wrestling match. But I got a win out of it. I'm taking on all comers in that redo Rumble. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the likes of Tony and Franchini and Ice-T Curtis and Emily Saxton and Louis Jr. and everyone else. Anybody who wants to get involved in the redo Rumble. Shark beats them all and Shark eats them all. And if that means eliminating Grimm himself and becoming the new legendary GTS YouTube heavyweight champion, then so be it.
And obviously getting some redemption and some payback on Emily Saxton first, who you referred to in some different ways. I mean, that must have made you feel good going into this redo Rumble.
Yeah, the thorn in my side, it's been removed for the most part. I know she's got a number one contender match, to potentially face me again, but that's no problem. Honestly, I don't think I beat the snot out of her enough. So she's got another lariat coming her way, and she could be counting the lights at the GTS arena.
So getting a victory here, and I got to ask you, I asked you formally about winning the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Championship earlier to start the show, what has been a memorable episode with you. But I got to ask you, redo Rumble coming up, and I know you mentioned some names. I know Ice-T Curtis certainly wants his get back, and I know Tony's here and some others. I see Louis Jr. But what would it mean to you then to win the GTS Legendary YouTube Championship? What would that mean to you?
It'd mean everything. I mean, GTS has become like a home to me. Incredible roster with, the exception of Emily Saxton, who dropped me with the DDT, and the man in the ridiculous pantser, Ice-T Curtis. But GTS is a lovely place outside of that. To represent it and be their heavyweight champion would be a complete honor. We got a lot of big things coming up, like Brewery Brawl. So yeah, Grimm, yes. he's got to watch his back. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I will take that opportunity and beat him for the GTS Legendary YouTube Heavyweight Championship.
And you mentioned the Brewery Brawl, and you mentioned some of big events that GTS has had, and obviously the magnitude of going into, let's say, the Brewery Brawl, which we know last year, the amount of people that were there, and to not only the GTS United States champion, but the legendary YouTube champion, to be a double champion there. That would be quite an achievement, no?
Yeah, I'm looking to be like Ultimo Dragon, just holding all the belts all at once, with no exceptions, really. Any company, any promotion that has a belt, I want it. So if you're listening to this now and you're a champion, you better watch your back. Your days are numbered.
Well, I mean, you may be turning into Kenny Omega as the belt collector famously, and we're going to certainly see. But, what do you think the strategy will be, without fully giving it away, on dealing with some of these competitors? You've got a wide range of competitors that, are arguably going to, on their own, feel like that they can win this. And I mean, is that something that you're concerned about? Strategy, or what maybe some of your other competitors, some of them may be here in this chat, and what they'll do in order to win the redo Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's every person for themselves in the redo Rumble, right? So, I don't care if it's Louis Jr., I don't care if it's the Green Oracle, I don't care if it's the Unsubscriber, Hop, whoever's going to step in that ring, they're going to get served some meat and potatoes courtesy of Mark the Shark, and I'm going to yeet their ass over the top rope until nobody's left.
I got to ask you, Zach Ruby was in the Regal Rumble last time. If there's a possibility he's in the Rumble, you and him at the same time, what do you say to that?
He'd be one of the people I'd be worried about if they were in there. But, Zach and I, we both have the understanding, Bling and Bite, we're a tag team, but we could mix it up in singles just as well. So if the opportunity presented itself, I'd have no problem throwing the gem over that top rope if it means me becoming the new champion.
And it would certainly be sweet for you to eliminate some of these people here in this chat right now, like Ice-T Curtis, the man that held the championship, and obviously Tony Cheney, you're back and forth with him, and you've mentioned Emily Saxton, who you've called a let's just say Mega. You could fill in the blanks for that. So eliminating them would certainly be quite the redemption.
Yeah, I mean the Mega Bitch. That's how I got eliminated from the Regal Rumble originally. So, well, my back was turned, obviously, but
yep, quite the redemption. That's why I said it'd be quite the redemption.
Yep. She's got a receipt coming. Just because I beat her doesn't mean this is over. I'm sure I'll be seeing Emily Saxon once again, and I'll be kicking her ass once again. Simple as that.
All right. Well, we're going to certainly find out. Obviously, very busy times ahead in GTS. If you're out there, hit the sub button for GTS. A lot of people have, so go and continue to do that. Also, follow Mark on Instagram. Follow him on X, and I'll tell you what. At 10 o'clock, I'm in a generous mood. We'll figure out if you're in the chat still, and we'll play a game, and I'll give away Gary Wolf's book. So we'll give it away to somebody. I'm sure you'll be very mad if Tony wins. He may win it. I don't know.
Better not.
Well, we'll find out at 10 o'clock when we get to who's in here in the chat and who comments the most and who we'll play a game with it. But let's move on here. I do want to come back to TF Crew. Obviously, I want to talk about, I know that the matches are not up on YouTube, and I know I'll talk about them when that time comes, and I'm sure you'll be here. But, I got to ask you, being a part of that show, I didn't get a chance to ask you formally about it, but 400 plus people, one of the biggest shows I've seen for an independent show, and just what it did for so many people, just from afar, just what did it mean to you to be a part of Milford Mania?
Milford Mania was great. Really happy for TF Crew. A lot of those guys are local to that area, so to perform in front of a big crowd, in front of their friends and family, had to be a thrill. It was really cool to see my old pal Nunzio, Little Guido, backstage. Caught up with him for a minute. It was a good time. I wish I won my match. I had the likes of Sturdy Sal and Leonidas and LJ Wash to contend with, and I didn't get the job done. And that's on me. But I will be back.
Sturdy Sal's a guy. He's wrestled Rad Dad for the Matt Pro Wrestling Championship. I mean, I know Sturdy Sal very well.
Tough guy. But TF Crew, I'll be back. It's not a problem. The Shark, he'll be back. He'll be back in TF Crew. He'll be back at the Milford Mall. Stay tuned for more about that. I have a lot of unfinished business.
So you'll be back. So the Sharks will be coming. You'll be back there in TF Crew, huh?
I think so. Gabe and Angel, they run a tight ship over there. But I would definitely welcome the opportunity to perform there again.
All right. Well, you know what? I think that a lot of people would like to see that, and I'd be very curious to see how the TF Crew follows up such an historic show where you see Aaron Rourke, WWE ID guy, and Nunzio, a guy. Again, I mentioned it when Angel and Rad Dad were here on last, and in the Cheenies I had mentioned it, that this was a guy that wasn't. When ECW, the original ECW, was a champion. He was a two-time tag team champion, and he was a WWE champion. This is a guy that, I had said arguably should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. The man's resume speaks for it. He was an ECW original, held gold, had a really nice run in WWE, and, has been in a lot of other places, MLW, and still keeps going. And, I think that that's great to see what will happen there. I'm sure we'll talk about it. Before, we'll play the game at 10 o'clock, but anything else you may want to say about anything else before I get to that? And I'll come back with final words with you and such.
Follow TF Crew, follow Matt Pro Wrestling, celebrate Mark the Shark going into the Sportswire Hall of Fame, support Titan Championship Wrestling, support GTS Wrestling, support independent wrestling. If there's a show near you and you're on the fence about checking it out, just get the ticket and go check it out. 9 times out of 10, you won't regret it.
Absolutely. No, listen, independent wrestling is where wrestling to me is. It's where wrestling lives. I mean, you're the only place you're going to get Shark Week. I mean, it's the only place you're going to get an American Muscle Shark. There's no other place that you can get that opportunity. And that's why we're really, really excited about the future. And you're going to see Mark the Shark coming up in a lot of great places. Obviously, Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment, March 21st, March 8th. Matt Pro Wrestling. You're going to see him in something that Louis Jr. had mentioned, but stay tuned for those details. And I'm sure we'll see him coming up absolutely in the GTS Redo Rumble, where he certainly has a lot of momentum going in. And we're very excited to see him there. And we'll see Zach Ruby here very soon on Sportswire, I'm sure. And we'll give Mr. Shark the certificate that we've inducted him in to the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So very, very excited about that. I'll get to a couple more comments. And I am the best GTS ref Winter. Thank you very much for being here. If you were here, hit the sub button. The man in the cool candy striped pants was helping you, by the way. He just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, sure. He was helping me all right.
Well, he was, I guess. I love you, Shark, but you're not throwing me over.
We'll see about that, Louie. I'll see you in the redo Rumble.
She's gone crazy. I think we're talking about Emily.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Mark. There you go. Thank you, Zilla. All right, so we'll do it. I'm going to do it. I've already read this book 100 times. If you're here in the chat, tell me if you want to win Gary Wolf's book. He wrote it last year. I have the book. So if you're in the chat, we'll give you a couple minutes. Tell me if you want this book, what it means to you. Are you a fan? Whatever. And we'll see what the comments say. There's a bunch of you in the chat, so we'll play along, and then we'll get to final thoughts. And Tony's first. Tony's first. Tony says he won. And listen, Gary Wolf's trained in the Monster Factory, and the Monster Factory's no more. It was a big topic. I mean, the Monster Factory's no more. And, Tony obviously being local, I mean, so far, I mean, he's the first guy to comment. I mean, right now, he's in the lead. And he's been on there you go. I mean, boy, he's making a strong case. And I see Tony all of a sudden always doing the card breaking. I mean, he's in the lead right now. And he wants Tony to win. I mean, at this point, I should go to the post office later in the week. And also, I would like the book. Gary always tells me happy birthday, but we've never met. Would like to hear his story. Well, that's giving me some pause. All right, we got one comment there. Cody Maverick, a guy that I know very well. Another guy that's been on here many times. All right, I got that. It's getting close. We'll decide at 10:04. We'll decide. I'll give you 3 minutes. I got a bunch of people here in the chat. So Maverick makes a strong case. Gary wishes him happy birthday. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. I can see Gary wishing happy birthday. Wow, I don't want to. Boy, Marta Shark. This is a first on Sportswire. So if you're here in the chat, tell me if you want to win this. Also, Gary, that's a good case. Gary Wolf worked my dad years ago in a double dog collar match in GCW. Gary's an amazing dude and gave me great advice while doing an X-Brand show. And I just had on Mickey Vargas, who's wrestling the X-Brand wrestling champion Anthrax. I'm supposed to get Anthrax on here. No, you didn't win. You didn't. You didn't win. He didn't win. But you know what, Louis Jr. That's a good point. Louis Jr. His dad wrestled, and that gives me some pause. I tell you what, right now, Louis Jr. might be the guy I'm giving it to. Let's see. I got 2 minutes. That make you feel that's half good for you, right? Half good for you. Because as long
as Cody doesn't win it, I'm happy.
If I give you the book, I just gave you the Hall of Fame. People are going to be like, "Boy, you're rigged."
No, I'll buy the book and actually support Gary.
Nah, you don't need to.
Tony, apparently.
Honestly, I'll be honest. No, you don't have to buy the book. Trust me. If you just go watch a podcast on YouTube, he did. It's the same thing. But you could. But I will give it to somebody. Boy, we have 18 people here, so I'm giving 2 minutes. Who else is here in the chat? Tell me. If you want to win Gary Wolf's book, I have the book. I will mail it to you. Also, another Cheney is here. Wow, Shark. Boy, Mrs. Cheney's not too happy with you. Boy, you have a tough crowd tonight. I mean, I appreciate them tuning in.
Listen, that redhead, she could catch a potato just like her man did. So I'll be seeing Fran in the Redo Rumble.
They had their own problems in Titan this past weekend. I mean, they had their own issues.
You see, the Cheneys are always running into problems. Maybe if you go around and everyone you meet has a problem with you, maybe you're the problem. I'm just saying. Maybe the Cheneys need to stop blaming everybody else and look inward,
Ox McCoy gave a good one. I need to go east and also south. Yeah, you have a lot of, well, you know what? I don't think anybody's going anywhere. In fact, I would say don't go east yet. It may be in like 2 months when we officially dig out of the blizzard. It was funny. There was a guy on Instagram in Bensonhurst who threw in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, for those that don't know. And he was like, he pointed at cars and he was walking around. He goes right off 18th Avenue. And he goes, yeah, that car won't be coming out till like next spring. And I would say don't come east until like April. So you're going to catch these hands, Mark. So you're going to catch these hands. So
I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give it. We'll give it 1 more minute. So if you're out there, last call if you want to win. Last call if you want to win. If I had the privilege of winning this book, I'd like it signed and personalized. Well, boy, that's really making me
now he's politicking.
Well, as a man that worked in politics and still sort of does, and unfortunately to make some bucks, but that does that sweetens the pot a little bit. He wants me to autograph it. My autograph's not really worth anything. I mean, although I did sign when I did the Megadeth giveaway, I did sign it. Not that it meant anything. I did put my card in, but all right. So we got one more minute. One more minute. I'm really getting tempted now. I mean, I really liked Louis Jr.'s comment, but I mean.
I don't know if we could say that on air, but yeah, you know
If
what?
you want to do it,
If Louis wants to be my tag team partner and fight the Cheenies, I think we're all going to be in Vegas.
Let's
make it happen. Let's have a showdown in the desert. All right.
What do they say in Vegas? What stays in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what? That's what.
Yeah, the Cheenies are going to stay in Vegas a long time because I'm going to drop each and every one of them for talking so much smack on my podcast here tonight. It was supposed to be a good time, Tom, and you got me all worked up here on a Tuesday night. Yeah, thank you. The Hall of Fame, that made it all worth it.
Well, I mean, your peers did get to see it at least. I mean, listen, there's some people that come on here, it's crickets. You didn't listen. To be fair, I'll make you feel better before I announce a winner. I had on the guy that was the host of Headbangers Ball, Ricky Rackman. I don't even think he had a third of the people you had in the chat. I mean, so
hey, look at that. I'm bigger than Headbangers Ball.
There you go. See, does that make you feel a little bit better at least? Doesn't that make?
It does. Yeah.
All right, so there you go. There you go. All right. I think at this point Tony's really politicked the most. I'm gonna announce. I think Tony. I really Louis gave a strong case. His dad did wrestle him. He wrestled his dad, but I feel like Tony really wants the book, so I'm going with Tony. Tony, you won. I'll mail it to you. Give me your address off the air, and I'll send you my business cards, and I'll give you a letter. Tony won. So that means actually Tony and Francesca won because they're in the same house. Now, do they fight over the book? Do you think they read it at the same time? How do you think that works?
Who knows? But you know what? It's good that he did pick them to win because Lord knows they're not winning any wrestling matches lately.
Well, they don't have the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team titles.
No. And if you saw the results from this past week, it wasn't a good outing for the Cheenies.
I did see some of the footage, which it's not up yet, but I did see stuff. I
believe Fran lost a spaghetti street fight to Emily LeVay. Tony got taken out before his match even happened. And Ice-T Curtis lost to me via Instagram poll on Who's Tanner. The people have spoken. It was a landslide victory, 75%, I believe. I beat Ice-T.
I did see the poll.
So it's a bad time to be the Cheenies, you know. Out of the goodness of my heart, I would have them over, make a nice pasta dinner, you know, just to show them, you know, it's gonna get better, guys. Just stick with it, you know.
I guess maybe they, instead of focusing on all those years ago making a pizza, that they should have maybe focused on making some pasta. From what you're saying,
champions eat pasta. That's all I'm saying. You know, every Sunday, first thing in the morning, you wake up, that gravy spills. Martha Shark's house, you know.
You know what?
Bread, Sunday dinners it does the body good.
I grew up in Brooklyn. I can still Sunday dinners. I get it, but I will get to a few final words, and I will. Yeah, we'll send it off the air, and you give me your address, and I'll mail it probably Thursday or Friday, maybe tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere, but we'll mail it for sure soon. Careful, Mark, or the spaghetti board is coming your way. Goodness. And I will say also, you still could win Gary's book because I have another copy. So if you're Louis Jr. or Maverick, there'll be another one. We'll do another contest. But for now, Tony, I guess maybe it's Tony and Francesca that won it because after all, it's the Cheenies. And he's tying his hair. I think we've gotten to the point. Mark, I'm going to give you the opportunity. You know anything you want to say before anyone else you show up? I mean, any closing thoughts you have? Because you're obviously you're enraged right now. You are like a shark. You're going to come out and jump out of the screen, and maybe I'll be blood and all over. My blood and guts will be spilled if we don't give you closing thoughts.
Yeah, my closing thoughts are the Cheenies and Ice-T Curtis are a bunch of jerks. They're just like that mega bitch Emily Saxton. They're no good. They came here. They tried to hijack the show from you and I, Tom. We were going to have a nice conversation about all the great things that the American Muscle Shark is doing, as you see on my Instagram page, my beautifully curated Instagram page. Please follow. And, they wanted to make this good time, bad time, but we're not going to let that happen. It's an honor to be in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. It's an honor to be the GTS United States Heavyweight Champion. And it's an honor to be the new Titan Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion with Zach Ruby, the Bling and the Bite. Stay tuned. The Shark World Tour, it keeps rolling on and on. I'll see everybody in Vegas, Titan Championship Wrestling, Matt Pro, TF Crew, GTS every week on YouTube. Don't sleep on the Shark, because the shark beats them all and the shark eats them all.
Ah, you know what did the Pokemon say? Got to catch them all, but you're the shark eats them all. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I am really excited about what the future is in store for Mark the Shark. And boy, definitely don't get in his way. We showed that tonight, and we were going to have a civil conversation, but apparently people, they didn't want that tonight. They just didn't want that civil conversation. But I would remind you that you still got a lot. And you know what? And being in the Hall of Fame, it's not just the Cheenies that are in the Hall of Fame. Rhino's in the Hall of Fame. Raven's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, the co-founder of Megadeth, David Ellefson's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Mark Farner, Grand Funk Railroad. You're the American Muscle Shark. He was wearing American Band. I mean, you know, Gary Wolf's in the Hall of Fame. Well, actually, you may not be happy about that one because Tony's going to be reading his book. So, you know, but there's a lot of good names. Savio Vega, wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. So, listen, you are in good company. You may not like some of the company like Ice-T, Francesca, and Tony, but there's some other names that you'll look back. Rad's in there, you know. I mean, you'll look back. The future holds a 10%. I have to say this. I saw there was a guy on Instagram here in Staten Island that posted like we had 24 inches of snow, and he said he was giving 24% discounts to like city workers. But I don't know if because you're the Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment, one half of the tag team champions, you get a 10% discount in Jersey restaurants. I would think that would be good in Barnegat. I think that would be a good idea. But I am going to still donate to the show. So get me a link later. I'll send the donation before March the 21st. But obviously, maybe you and Zach should get a 10% discount in restaurants to maybe offset the cost of inflation, to offset these tariffs that they still want to throw out there.
It's typically I show up at a restaurant. I sign maybe a couple autographs to take a few pictures. And they say, you know, food and drinks on us, Sharky baby. And I leave a generous tip. I don't know what this 10% discount's all about.
Well, you know what? I really don't know.
To me. Yeah.
But I tell you what, there's so many people here on YouTube right now that they really should follow Mark the Shark on his Instagram page. So I want to see, if you haven't yet, go follow him. He's on X. If you're here for the first time with me, thank you so much for your support. Hit the sub button for me as well. I'll be back here Thursday. And Mark the Shark is in the Hall of Fame, and he is the American Muscle Shark. So please support the companies he represents, even if you may or may not like some of the people in them, which is Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment, March 21st. Matt Pro Wrestling, March 8th. He'll be there for that. TF Crew, he'll certainly be there when the time comes. We'll talk about it. I'm a sponsor of all the shows. Every TF Crew show they've had live in a venue, I've been a sponsor of. So how about that? And then also, we have coming up GTS, the Redo Rumble, and Louie and Mark are going to be doing something that we'll one day see. Also, last but not least, Mark will be going to WrestleMania in Vegas. Apparently, he may not be traveling with the Cheenies, but he will be there, and he's not worried about TSA with the championships and the Shark. So I'm pretty sure. You know, isn't there still like one Blockbuster left out there? Like one. Okay, thank you, everybody. And I don't even remember what the next still trip was. Thank you, everybody, here for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. We're certainly got that Mark the Shark drip. It's not a nasal drip. We got that Mark the Shark drip. He's the newest member of the Sportzwire Radio Hall of Fame. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here on a Tuesday night. And until then, like, share, and subscribe to the companies that Mark and everybody else represents here in the chat. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. All on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all music and all wrestling matters. Congratulations, Tony. I'll give you the book, and we'll get that. And we are broken tonight. Yes, we are broken. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.